Well, good morning. Thank you for coming back. I think this is Flosstube number 5, which is, I'm looking at the date, October 20th. Can't believe this will be my 5th Flosstube. Ooh, time flies. If you are coming back, thank you so much for returning to the Hot Mess Express. I really appreciate it. If you are new to my Flosstube channel, the Fanciful Flamingo, thank you so much for joining us and checking me out. My name is Alicia. I am a 52-year-old returning stitcher, wife, mother of 2 humans and 3 dogs, living in South Florida, and like a lot of us, cross-stitched years ago, took a rather long hiatus, and am now back and in the deep end and loving it. I wrote notes today because my mind is all over the place this week. I feel like since the last video, there have been like 2 weeks in one. So much has gone on. So thank you again for checking out the Fanciful Flamingo. Thank you to Julie McKinley, the Stray Cat Stitcher, for my Happy Mail. I really appreciate it. And I know I'm going to use my floss. It's a little bit of everything. It's like a MacGyver tool. It will measure your fabric if you're not sure what count you're on, your stitches. It's a guide. It really is the MacGyver tool. So thank you so much. Want to thank some new subscribers for the sweet messages, the comments that they left me on my video last week. There's Carolyn S., who is a fellow Ada stitcher. Yay! Welcome to the Ada team. And Diana Saunders of Ontario, Canada. Oi. Hey, I know they used to say that on Saturday Night Live. I really don't know what Canadians say. But thank you guys so much for checking out my channel, for sticking around, and for the sweet comments. I really appreciate it. I really do. A lot of us floss tubers and stitchers, and I mean, you don't have to be a floss tuber, but stitchers will tell you that this community is amazing. And I'm sure that quilters would say the same thing, scrapbookers, most crafting communities are tight-knit groups, and we are really there for each other when we need each other. And on Instagram, Old Soul Stitcher, Tiffany, his daughter wasn't feeling well. And like all mamas, we have a sixth sense, an intuition when something just isn't right. And so she followed up on that intuition, took her to the doctor, and this week they went to see some specialists. And you want the answers and you kind of want the diagnosis, but then you don't. I've been through that with my son, but once we get it as moms, we kind of go into game mode, and we can deal with it. And that's what happened with Tiffany and her daughter this week. And I'm going to butcher what she was diagnosed with, so I apologize. It's dysautonomia. I looked it up and I got overwhelmed. So I'm asking all of us to come together to pray for Tiffany, for her daughter, and for their family. They will now begin a long medical journey, and the doctor that they have to go to, or the specialists that they have to see, are not close. So that's hard as well. So I posted on my Instagram last night, and a lot of us did. I know I saw Missy Timberlake from Two Needles Pulling Thread. I saw Jessica Provost from Sweetwater Stitcher posting. They are selling t-shirts to help with the medical costs, because you can't even go for a cold today and not have to take out a small loan. So they have a big battle ahead of them. Finances should not be part of their struggle. So I will post it again, the information at the end of this video with the link, so that you can go order a shirt. And also, her daughters are making precious scissor fobs to bring awareness to this. So be looking for those, and I definitely will be posting more about it. But please, let's keep Tiffany, Old Soul Stitcher, and her family in our prayers this week. And I'm going to be selfish and ask for some prayers. We have had a death in our extended family. My husband's college roommate's mother. His college roommate is his business partner, was the best man at our wedding, is my daughter's goddaughter, and his mom was a second mom to all of us. And she passed this week, and everything I do, she's in the back of my mind. So I'm a little off today. But if you will keep her family and her grandchildren and her children and her husband in your prayers, I'd appreciate that. So, on to life updates for me. Saturday, I went to my local needle workshop, the Cross Stitch Cupboard here in Fort Lauderdale, and I met my friend Carolyn to stitch, or negative stitch. And I'll show you in my whips. But she and I were stitching, and I'm going to reach over here and get it. We decided, we both had this, and even though I said I wasn't going to stitch any more fall, it's just too cute, and I had to have it. And I mean, Primrose Cottage knocks it out of the park every time. So we decided we were both going to stitch it together Saturday. I unstitched it twice. I left the cross stitch cupboard after almost 4 hours with blank fabric. Blank. Nothing to show for it at all. And I'll get to that when I show you my whips for the week. But yeah, a lot of talking, a little stitching. But that's the way it is. And Arlise was there, Noir Stitcher, or Stitchy Noir, and I'm sorry. And she is doing the Stitch Along, that is the spooky library that a lot of people are doing, that is just next level amazing. Next level amazing. And she was also picking up, I think it was a Mirabella, with the amount of beading it had on it. Whoa. So I got to stitch with her. And then because I had to leave early because I was doing friend stitch, I didn't get to stitch with Missy very long, but I did get to see her and chat with her for a little bit. And we met lots of neat people. We met a couple from Missouri who come down here every year for vacation and had walked from their hotel to the cross stitch cupboard. Jan and George, I'll never forget George because that was my father's name, and she is a cross stitcher. He does phenomenal woodworking, and so that was neat to meet some new people. And of course, you know me, never met a stranger, so I gave them the 3rd degree, and they'll probably never be back to Florida again. Oh well. And then Saturday night, I was in the PM session of Friend Stitch, and Friend Stitch is an online retreat put together by Heart and Hand and Bent Creek, and it was fabulous. It's really my first official retreat and my first online retreat. And I'm gonna be honest, I had doubts about an online retreat. I was like, this could be weird, but so you go in and everyone is muted, which is a great thing. And for 3.5 hours, you stitch and you learn. And you're right there, like your computer is right there. You have a front row seat. You don't have a bad seat. There's no chit-chatting or any of the other things that can be distracting. It's basically like a one-on-one class for 3.5 hours with amazing designers. Hands down, if they continue doing it, and I hope they do, I think this was their 3rd year, I will sign up every year. And it wasn't overwhelming. Like I kept up, I stitched, I finished my stitch, I did the finishing tutorial like they showed us. The box was never ending. It had like the confetti paper kind of, and layers, and then underneath all of that, they had hidden another surprise. I mean, it had fabrics and finishings, and I'll show you a little bit more later on, but Friend Stitch. I saw her on Fat Quarter Shop. Kimberly interviewed her, Cecilia, back in like June, and I was already a huge fan of Heart and Hand. Y'all know I do my joyful journals every month. And she mentioned it. And I literally got off that video. I think sign up was that day. Signed up for the class in June and have been waiting. My only regret is that I didn't buy a t-shirt at the time. But that was like the only thing I didn't get. So, excuse me. Y'all, I'm drinking hot coffee today. It wasn't even Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. And I don't have my fancy china today because I had oatmeal for breakfast. It's cold here. It's in the 60s. I almost didn't get out of bed to film this. So I did that. I did Friend Stitch Saturday night from 3:30 to 7, or no, from 3 to 7. And y'all, so when you sign up, they ask you what you like to stitch on. And I had put the Ada. I think I did 14 or 16 count. But in the box to stitch that night, they sent us 25 count Lugana. And I'm not going to lie. My heart started beating. I called my husband in here and I was like, what are they thinking? How am I supposed to stitch on this? I did. I stitched on 25 count Lugana. Now, I know it's even weaving. I know it's a good transition, but y'all don't burst my bubble. I stitched 1/2. I did it. And you know what I did last night? I had to place an order to Fat Quarter Shop. I bought 3 more pieces at 25 count Lugana because I'm going to do it. And then my plans this weekend, I'm going back to the LNS because it's, I don't know if it's National or World Cross Stitch Day, but Karen at the Cross Stitch Cupboard is having a lot of activities, and Carolyn and I are going to be there, and I'm probably going to negative stitch again. Those are my plans for this weekend. Next weekend, I'm going to a bare bones retreat at Brick City. It's in Ocala, and it's about 5 hours from here. I'm driving up. I'll spend the weekend without my children. I'll miss them. Stitching. It's just stitching for 3 straight days. Just stitching. So I have quite a few patterns from Finally a Farm Girl. I have lots of Beulahs and Jeremiahs that I'm going to download and outline. My plans for this coming week are to outline a lot of them so I can just do fill-in stitches and hopefully not have a lot of frogging to do. So those are my plans. I know, exciting stuff. So, trucking right along. Excuse me, now I need water. Coffee makes me thirsty. Is that normal? It's probably not. It's probably why I do it. So, FFOs. I got quite a few. So, my first one is, look at this thing. Look at him. So, this was the Stitch Ahead for Friendship Retreat. And I did it on Friday. But I did it. Look, he's so cute. And this is, we learned pin ruching. Y'all, I'm a pin rucher. This was the finishing. This board was part of our kit. It's from a French company, and you could only get this board through the retreat. So, and she taught us, I don't see it here right now. We used some double-sided tape. I wouldn't have done it if she hadn't told me to, but Lord blessed day it held. But look at that. I put little pins in there and I ruched. I'm a rucher. I'm putting that on my resume. So that was part of the Friend Stitch Retreat. So that's an FFO. I'm going to put some little beads up here. And I'm going to hang it on my tree with a sign that says, I ruched this. Don't think I'm not. Did I mention I know how to pin ruche? Just in case. And so this is from Primrose Cottage. And I had stitched this, finished it a while ago. Put it in my pile and forgot about it. So this week, my husband cut me the wood last week. I stained it. This was just some leftover scraps we had. This rickrack is from Hobby Lobby. Just a roll of rickrack. This was a little bitty, kind of like banner from Hobby Lobby. And I I cut it from the banner and put it on here. And then these were just little pumpkins in a little bag from Hobby Lobby, little decoration. So I glued it. And here is my next FFO. Y'all know I love a house. Y'all know I do. So this is actually going to sit on my windowsill here in my office, and I'm going to continue on with houses. So that was my next FFO. And then I showed y'all this last week. This is from JBW Designs. And Karen at the Cross Stitch Cupboard and Carolyn Stitches helped me. This is Nutmeg. This fabric is 18 count Nutmeg by Rogue. And I stitched it with Classic Colorworks 12 grain. And last week I had mentioned that I hadn't finished it because I didn't have anything pretty enough for it. And I ordered brown velveteen and white pom-pom from Lady Dot Creates. And it came in and it's gorgeous. But then I remembered I had these frames that Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop was looking all over her to finish up. She bought 12 of them from Home Goods. And I was in there one day and found 4. So I bought them. And I remembered I had it. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to make this another pillow for my dough bowl. I want this to stand on its own. So I put it on foam board yesterday. And I used quilt batting. And I took the glass out. I didn't want the glass in it. And honestly, it wouldn't have fit with the glass because once you put the foam board and the batting, it gets thick. And look at that. Look at that. And the frames they're 4x4s. And they're $4.99 at Home Goods. And this is going to sit right back here on my bookcase, keeping me company. I love her. Love her. Love her, love her, love her. And then finally, the albatross around my neck is done, y'all. Here is my Touch of Magic Mystery Stitch Along that I started in May. And I say finished. I did leave off a full moon, a moon up here, and the words full moon. All in white thread. And y'all know I don't like white floss. I don't like it. But what I kept on there was the things that really mean something to me. Like I love witches and I love pumpkins, and there's her broom. And then this is Joann's fabric, and it's actually a Joann brand. So I just did a double mat. This is the Tombstone that I bought last year at Michael's after Halloween, super cheap. So I mounted it on that. And this ribbon is in one of those packs from Michael's from this year that I got for 50% off. I think the whole pack is a huge pack. And I just hot glued it on there, cut it. And then I didn't really have anything to put in the middle of the ribbon, and I was going to cover a button in the same fabric. I was like, I want something more. So I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday, and these are a pack of felt stickies, and there's probably like 12 hats, orange and purple hats. And I got it, and I just hot glued it on there, and it's done. And I have a picture that I don't know if I put at the beginning or the end of this video of it, how I have it displayed. And I have it on a black plate stand. So I did it. I finished it. Y'all know I didn't like this. Y'all know I didn't. I'm not going to lie. I like the stitching. I think it's super cute. I didn't like the fabric. When I signed up for it, I really didn't think about it. I've said this before. I don't do a ton of Halloween now because my kids are older. I'm more into the fall. And down here in South Florida, you really got to decorate for fall to feel fall. Except this week because it's 63 degrees. Did I tell y'all that? It's cold. And then I got this back. I had this framed at the Cross Stitch Cupboard. They do framing. So if y'all remember, this was my very first sampler ever. And I did it for Sampler September. This is 2 Turtles and a Flamingo by Jean Farish. So I got it back from the framer. Isn't she beautiful? She's beautiful. And I've already hung her. And I've taken a picture of that hopefully I'll figure out how to put on this page. Y'all forgive me. I'm like super thirsty today. So those are all my FFOs. I had quite a few. I'm quite proud of myself. And then I have an FO that I've started. This is the pattern that we did at Friend Stitch. And we did it that night. And this is 25 count Lugana, y'all. And I did it. 1/2. And I did it in the time of the Friend Stitch. And this is one of the fabrics that came with it. So I'm going to make it into a pillow. And then I thought I was done last night. And then I realized that I still needed to do the specialty stitches. The stars and, hold on, let me see if it tells me in here. The long stitch stars and the woven cross. And we were shown how to do this at the online retreat. So I'm going to go back and add the white in. And then, like I said, we had a choice of 3 fabrics that came with it. And there was beading and all kinds of things we could do. And trim work from Lady Dot Creates. So I decided, I usually don't do this with my pillows. I just usually put whatever I'm going to back it and fill it. But I was also watching last week Primrose Cottage, Lindsay and Emily, and they were showing all of their cute pillow finishes and all of the extras that they had done. And so I'm going to try to be a little bit more creative with my pillows. So that's my FO, and that is from the Friend Stitch. And then we also got these threads to go with it. And these are Cottage Garden threads. And we got to meet one of the owners and designers from Cottage Garden Threads from way down under, the daughter. And it was fabulous. Fabulous to see where they create all of these wonderful colors. And this is, and I've never stitched with this. This is Pearl 8 cotton. The strands are a teeny tiny bit thicker than your single strand of floss, but it is beautiful if you are stitching over one. The coverage is like having 2 threads without all the headache. I don't know if you can really, first of all, the variegation was amazing. But does that not look like 2 threads over 2? That tight coverage? So I will definitely, when I get my, and I don't know how to convert flosses and stuff, but I'm going to figure it out. I love this thread. Highly recommend. And there's even a tutorial because they mount their threads on their cards in a very special way. It's really cool. But please follow the instructions or you'll have a hot mess express. Just saying, if you don't. But love this. And we had this floss holder too. Was another one of our treats. And a stick. Yeah, just too much stuff. Too much stuff. So that's my FO, which I will finish. Trucking right along, aren't we? 23 minutes in. I have a start. I started this last night. So I know y'all have seen everybody who's anybody, stitching Be Ye Thankful by a needle pulling thread. This was a stitch along, and sorry y'all, my hair's getting on. If y'all could see my reflection. Anyway, y'all know that the word stitch along triggers me in a good way. Mention stitch along, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Me, teacher, me, teacher. Never met a stitch along I could pass up. So I had to do it. But then I had other things on my plate and I kind of forgot about it. And there's a story with this too. I ordered it. Everybody was starting it. Couldn't find it. Thought I'd lost it. Hadn't come in the mail yet. This is also the first one that I ordered not once, not twice, but thrice. If y'all ever watch Schitt's Creek, thrice I ordered the threads for this. Y'all. So everybody started it, people finishing it. Missy Timberlake, 2 Needles Pulling Thread, has shown this I went on last night to the hashtag tons. Well, Kathy hadn't started it either on one of their last floss tubes, and I texted her after, and I was like, I'll start it with you. We'll be the laggers. Last week I realized I hadn't started it, and I was like, oh, you know, they got Kathy and Missy, they got weddings, and you know, Kathy's got her treatments and stuff. She won't have started it. Dadgummit, Kathy. Sunday, she shows up on her floss tube, and she started it. So I was like, dadgummit. So I felt like a loser. So I started it last night, and then I got this done. Yes, I know I'm missing the T. Yes, I probably could have stayed up and finished the T, but no, I couldn't either. So I started this last night. It is a quick stitch. It is. And I'm loving it, and I'm using all the call for Classic Colorworks, the Gentle Art, Weeks. I'm not doing any substitutions. And there's 2 DMCs. This orange and this blue are the DMCs. So I'm using all the call for colors on this one. And this is Flatfish by Weeks. The variegation in this, love it. I love Weeks Styleworks. Might be my favorite of the variegated. Their colors are just, well, they're just awesome. So that's my start. I have a start. And then, come here, you. This is how much on my third start to this that I've gotten done. And this is not the fabric that I originally chose for this. And I don't know what this is because Carolyn and Karen had to screen. Well, I found it. I'm going to take credit for it. And I think it's 16 count. And y'all know I don't normally like a ton of modeling, but I loved this. And knew that these colors would pop on it. And I'm not very adventurous with colored fabric. I stick to the neutrals. I am a vintage country mocha, parchment kind of girl. Sandstone. That is me. Got my name written at Fiddler's Roof. I usually don't pick things like this. But I did, and I love it. But this is my third go at this. But I think today I'm just going to sit down and finish this one and not work on anything else. She's close. She's close. So this was what I originally started stitching it on. I'm going to show you something here. Let me put the two together. This pumpkin that's tall and skinny is actually this long and fat one. I'm a Primrose Cottage. Their charts. I wish everybody charted like this. I wish I could show you. Their grids, like the 10 grid or whatever, is darker than, like they grid it, but then your counting spaces, I'm not explaining this, are darker. So you know you're 10. There's no mistaking it. And then they include the red lines vertically and horizontally. So you know where, if you want to start in the middle, it is. You cannot mess it up unless you're me. And for whatever reason, I got it in my head that in that middle section where the dark black line and the red line in between were 10 stitches. So I kept counting and sewing 12 because there was 10 and then 2 more. No, there's only 8. And I did it twice and didn't realize it until I got to the star, and then I look at it both times because I unstitched the whole thing. Like, I decided I wasn't going to unstitch all of this. This was just Ada from Hobby Lobby, so I decided I could make this a sacrificial lamb, and I went and picked out I told Karen, please, just I got to start over, and I'm not frogging. I stitched that same pumpkin that same way on here. And this time I frogged it because I was not sacrificing this piece of fabric. I left the cross-stitch cupboard Saturday with 0 stitches. that I could really work with. So, but I love her. I love her. So that is one of my whips. And I have worked a little bit more. This is another stitch along for Chrissy, finally a farm girl. She wanted this for her birthday. It's a Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. I love Brenda Gervais. And I had never stitched her before, not that I've been back stitching that long, because I was intimidated. I mean, her designs are gorgeous. Gorgeous, like, and fancy. So I thought, I can't stitch that. I stitch gnomes, but you can. They're wonderful. And this is, I'm almost positive, Vintage Country Mocha 18 count. So I have filled in her dress. I have done the pumpkins. I was missing the color, believe it or not. I think it's gold leaf for the sunflowers. So I hadn't been able to start on those. I know, y'all are shocked I didn't order it 3 times. But it came in. So I'm going to start on the sunflowers. But I've gotten... And this is supposed to be finished like a drum. Sweet Chaos Stitcher posted yesterday her finished drum. And it looks exactly like this. Like she could have been the model for this. And I know Vanna Pfeiffer has of course she has a wonderful drum tutorial. All of her tutorials are wonderful. But I'm scared to do this. I'm gonna try. But I'm scared. But I love, love, love this. So that's another one of my whips that I've got going on. And then I'm actually going to show this last. Sunday, once again, I sacrificed Sampler Sunday to finish the Touch of Magic sounds so I could FFO it. But I did get some more done on my, this is Liz Matthews Spanish Rose Sampler. And I'm using the Call for DMC. There's only like 5 colors in this, but I loved them. So I did this little motif and I did this little motif. And if y'all remember last week, I told you I added 20 extra rows because I got so excited. So I wanted to make sure, and I moved this over because Maria did not care about symmetry and she had her way over here. And I did move her over to the middle. But I wanted to make sure that with the extra rows and everything, that it would still kind of balance out. So I got this done and this done on Sunday. Not as much as I wanted to because poor Spanish Rose gets sacrificed on Sundays if I'm really trying to finish something to FFO. She does. She gets sacrificed. And then this is the one piece I don't sacrifice. And I dedicate Tuesdays only to this. This is a stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. Lori Holt designed this. It's an It's So Emma design, and it is for breast cancer awareness. It's the support group stitch along. And this week was week 3, so I got the third row done. So next week will be the 4th. And I'm having, honestly, a hard time not going ahead and stitching. But as I stitch, I sit and I think about all the warriors that have gone before me, who have fought the battle courageously, and some have won and some have not. And I just think about them and their families as I stitch on Tuesdays. So that's the only reason that I haven't rushed it through, because I like to give it the penance that it deserves. And I am stitching on all the it's Call for DMC. The only thing that I have changed, and I will tell y'all, is there was a light pink. And this one was supposed to be all light pink right here. But I am stitching on a very light pink Ada rose. And so that lightest pink wasn't going to show. So I did switch that out for DMC Orange 977. The lightest pink I switched out for the Orange 977. So she's almost done, and I'm gonna miss her. I have the frame already purchased. but I am going to have it professionally framed. I'm just going to take the frame that I found for it. Sweetwater Stitcher Jessica, I had Sweet Chaos Stitcher on my mind. Sweetwater Stitcher Jessica is doing it in all pinks, and it is gorgeous. But I am, and I don't know if I'll ever be, I don't really know how to swap out colors and put colors together. That's not my wheelhouse. I was terrified of the orange, but I figured I could do one color. So I'm looking at my notes, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Also, Sweet Chaos Stitcher made chili yesterday. She lives up somewhere northern, not North Florida, maybe Central Florida, but she made chili yesterday. I'm going to make chili today because we don't get to make chili very often down here. I mean, you'd have to wear a bikini just to eat it. You just go up in flames. It's always so hot. We never have 60-degree weather in October. That is like 2 days in January or February. Never October. So it could stay for a little bit. Feels like fall, and I'm here for it. So, let's see. My haul this week is a Christmas haul. My notes. I had a little notebook, and I had to go get a bigger one. But yeah. So, what is this for? Oh, this is... I'll show that in a minute. So, I didn't have a lot of Christmas patterns. I have Prairie Schoolers and I have the Wee Santas by Heart and Hand for ornaments, but not like to do my dough bowl or to make little signs and anything. I just started at the beginning of the year, so I didn't have a lot. So I went on Fat Quarter Shop to fix that, and I did. So my first one is Plum Street Samplers, which is another one quickly. Y'all know if you say Little House Needleworks, I have to have it. If you say hello from Liz Matthews, I have to have it. Plum Street Samplers, quickly becoming an I have to have. And this is from the Noah's Christmas Arc. And this is number 5. I didn't realize it at the time, but there's a whole bunch of them, and I'm here for them, and I'm going to get them. This is Hyenas and Sheep. I like the flowers. That's why I bought it. And y'all going to be so proud of me. I wanted to start stitching this. I didn't have, it calls for a lot of Classic Color Works and Week Dye Works. So I went online again last night, Fat Quarter Shop, because it's so easy to just buy flosses on there. And I ordered the floss. And then, for once, I stuck a sticky note that I ordered the floss from who and when. And they didn't have Grapevine. They're out of Grapevine, so I got to search for that one. But I did. Now let's hope that I can leave it right here beside my computer. So when the flosses come in, I don't come up here on Flosstube and say, do y'all know why I bought this? And I did buy 2 of each. Because if you're going to buy the floss, I mean, it's just not worth it for a couple flosses, the shipping. But that's okay, honey. I remembered our budget. So I made sure to buy enough to get free shipping to save us that $3.95. You're welcome. Because I did buy... several, not that many, honey, pieces of 25 count Lugana. So the next one I ordered, because y'all know, Little House Needleworks, Merry Christmas. Little House Needleworks, check. House, check. Small pillow for my dough bowl, check, check, done. Bought that one. Heart and Hand, another one. Never met a Heart and Hand I didn't like. A Merry Christmas. Little Church. I will probably make this a pillow because that's really what I wanted for my dough bowl. And then Cecilia Turner loves long-legged birds. And I do too. So I bought him. It counts for 32 count Belfast linen. I have a piece of this, but I'm not going to stitch it on it. I'll do the 16 conversion. And then I did Primrose Cottage. Y'all know. Another one. Another one. Can't go wrong with a Primrose Cottage. Jingle All the Way. That's a 43 by 43 count. She did hers on 25 count Vintage Country Mocha. I can do that now. And I ordered some. I don't mean to brag, y'all, but I can do 25 count. And I can pin ruche if y'all hadn't heard. So this is another one. Primrose Cottage. 9 patch. December 9 patch. I love her 9 patches. Primrose Cottage. Hello Santa. I have this in Hello Summer too. She might have done it. She probably did a Hello Autumn. Y'all, I'm already at 40 minutes. And this is Tra La La Collection. This is my first from them. Papa Noel. I'm a Santa girl. My sister-in-law loves snowmen. I am a true blue Santa girl. My main tree is all Santas. I have different themed trees and stuff, but my tree is Santa's. Again, Little House Needleworks, check. 2 houses, check. Christmas pillow, check. And check again. Y'all, I need to start on these. And then the trilogy. And I did not know this. Y'all probably do. The trilogy is the collaborations between Heart and Hand and Bent Creek. And I got this one. My Santas. And y'all, I love a skinny Santa. I do. Bless his heart. Mrs. Claus must be on strike. And then, y'all know I love an alphabet too. So, the ABCs of Christmas. Heart and Hand. 30 count. Oh, why even read the counts? So, there's that one. And then, I have seen these from Liz Matthews and have put off buying these patterns because I really want to make them into the trees. But I don't really think that I'm capable of making them into the trees. But Tiger Lily Designs was showing one the other day, and I was like, dadgummit. So I broke down and bought the 6th day. But don't you worry. I'm going to buy them all. Don't you worry. So I bought the 6th day of Christmas. The Gisa Lane. And she hasn't finished. She doesn't have all 12 yet. So I'm still in time. It's going to be one of my longest videos, and I didn't even mean for it to be. And then this was the piece de resistance from the Friend Stitch. This is an exclusive Tiny Town. And we got the fabric to stitch it on. And we got all the classic color work threads to stitch it on. And you can break these down. And they showed how to make, if you wanted to make little pillows. And I think that's what I'm going to do because y'all know I bought the fattest, biggest dough bowl at Hobby Lobby without a lick of sense. And now I have tons of stitching. Y'all know it wouldn't be a haul week without a Como Stitches bag. So this was my newest. Isn't she pretty? Of course she is. It's a Como Stitches bag. And look. Look at my beautiful breast cancer awareness zipper pull. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then went to Hobby Lobby again just to look. But I went to their, like, where they have like their pre-made or their frames that then didn't work for people. So this is an 8x8 that I am hoping, but probably not. My thought is that she will, she will. Look at that, y'all. She will. She'll go in there when she's done. I might have to get my husband to cut the bottom and make it a little shorter. He doesn't know that yet, so we won't tell him. And then the other thing I bought in the fabrics clearance section, they had these rolls of velveteen and this cranberry and this like forest green. And y'all, these were $3.47. I can do all of my Christmas pillow backs in those. So that was my haul for this week. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. But I needed it, honey. If you're watching, which I know you don't watch my Flosstubes, and that's okay. Take it personally. But I didn't have Christmas. What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? So, you know what time it is. It's enabler alert time. I'm going to ring the little bell. It's enable alert time. And I got 2 this week. And one of them, and I'm going to tag these at the end. Because they're both Etsy shops. But one is a designer. And it is salt.pepper.stitching. I'm looking around for my notebook. Because I'm not going to butcher another designer's name ever again. Never, ever, ever. Yes. So, salt.pepper.stitching. Etsy shop. I'm going to post some of the pictures from her Etsy shop at the end of this. Because I can do that now. I have her Best Witches design that I did not get to this fall, but it's already in my rotation. I have made a plan for next year, which I want to talk about, although golly dang, I'm already at 45 minutes. Y'all have probably already left. So I have a plan for my stitching for next year. But I love her patterns, and she has got some for Christmas. She posted some yesterday on Instagram, a little Santa, snowman, reindeer. Ding, 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 ding. I need another tree now just to stitch all of her little pillow ornaments. Salt.pepper.stitching. Most of y'all probably already know her and are thinking, girl, where have you been? Under a rock? Maybe. And then I had someone reach out to me last week. And, y'all, I sit at home. I mean, I'm just a simple little stitcher, and I did Flosstube just to have somebody to talk to. So when someone reached out and said, I've watched your channel, I really like it, I'm a designer, I have an Etsy shop, would you maybe consider showing some of my work? I teared up. I will always and forever support any of y'all. But I said, yes, I will. And she does scissor fobs. She's like, I'm going to send you some. I said, okay. So this is Sweet Autumn Stitch. And these are, y'all, these are her scissor fobs. Y'all know I played around last week and got some of my beads out. I look like I'm in preschool compared to these. Look at this. Look at that. So there's, and she wrote me the sweetest card, and in the card she said, I mean, like she sent scissor fobs that would mean something to me. Like, obviously, y'all know I like flamingos, but the houses. Look at this house. I don't even know where you could find charms like this and beads this pretty. Sweet Autumn Stitch. And I'm also going to put her at the end. But she doesn't just stop there. She does needle minders. Look at that needle minder. And y'all know I love to collect anything. Look at these needle minders. Y'all, these magnets are heavy duty. And look at the thickness of this needle minder. They're not flimsy needle minders. And then she sent me a chart place keeper. That's magnetic too. Have y'all ever? Have y'all ever? Sweet Autumn Stitch. I just want to thank you so much, Karen, for watching my video and thinking that anybody would listen to me and that I could do your beautiful, beautiful designs justice. Really, I appreciate that so much. So y'all check both salt.pepper.stitching and Sweet Autumn Stitch on Etsy. And again, I'm going to have pictures of their shops and links and stuff. I'll link them in the description, and I'll have pictures at the end of this video for y'all to get their information from. So we're down to gifts and recipients. Thank you all again for taking time to write such sweet comments. I mean, y'all just don't know what y'all do to my heart. So the giveaways from last week, I had the tombstone. Like the tombstone, the giveaway is unpainted, but this is the tombstone That was one of my giveaways last week. And the tombstone is going to Stitches by Amy. Stitches by Amy, you are getting the tombstone. And then the dimensions kit that said Thankful, Grateful, Blessed, the entire kit, is going to Carolyn S. Carolyn S. She's my fellow Ada Stitcher. You are getting the dimensions kit. So if you will send me your information to one Fanciful Flamingo, the number one, Fanciful Flamingo at gmail.com, and my address will be in the description, I'll get these out to you. All of the other winners I have, or recipients I sent out last Friday. I know that some of you have already got them. Lisa 21-37 sent me a sweet email saying that she had received her Stitching Stewart's Ukrainian pattern. So I don't have anything here that someone has wanted that hasn't been sent out. And I'm going to try to send them out weekly. I am. So this week's giveaways are going to be a Hello Santa pattern from Primrose Cottage Stitches, because, of course, I bought 2 of them. One from my local needlework shop and one from Fat Quarter Shop. Y'all don't be surprised. Y'all don't even act surprised. So, Hello Santa is one of the giveaways. And then, as much as I want to keep all of these to myself, I just can't. I got to share the love. So, the house scissor fob. The house scissor fob is another giveaway. And as much as it pains me, the house needle minder. So we got 3 giveaways this week. We've got the Hello Santa gifts, not giveaways, gifts. The house scissor fob. And the house needle minder. So, what do you need to do to be a recipient of this? Please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and leave me a comment. And then just tell me, you can tell me in the comment, I like the Hello Santa, I like the house scissor fob, or I like the house needle minder. Somewhere in the comments so I know. And that's it. Is that it for this week? We had enabler alerts, we had haul. I guess that's it. 52 minutes. This is my longest one. Holy cannoli. So I hope y'all have a great week. I will be recording next week a day early because I am leaving town for the Bare Bones retreat at Brick House. No, Brick City, Brick House. Good grief. Brick City. And fingers crossed, I'm going to meet Stitchy Linda. I cannot wait. I love her, and I don't even know her. How you like them apples? How you like them apples? So I'm going to stitch on my Finally a Farm Girl patterns next weekend. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to go to bed late like a big girl. And I'm going to stitch, stitch, stitch. And probably talk Carolyn's ear off because I told her I was going to follow her around like her shadow because she's going. So she'll probably move tables within the hour, but it's okay. I'll move tables too, Carolyn. How you like them apples? Anyways, y'all have a great week. Thank you for coming back. Bye, y'all.